Hey, shalom, shalom. Okay. Well, I got my answer. We're good. Let me shut the other one off. All right. Let me just check. Shalom, shalom. Okay, we're good. All right, all right. The title, the title of this show is while war diversions are being looped through TV, your television. The U.S. government are passing laws supporting MOTB prophecy. All right, and in parentheses, you'll see at the end of the title, Palantir. All right, Palantir is basically a secret. It's a tech company. It's a tech company, but a secret tech company that's basically gathering all your data. A lot of information has been revealed about that. That Trump administration of the government has been going into, and also uh, there's been some digital legislation passed as well, while all this diversions are going on. All right. So without further ado, we're going to go into that, and because it all leads to biblical prophecy of the MOTB, what I want to go into, and so without further ado, I would like to say, give all praise. It says, I'll say Salak, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Rachwa Kodash, Thawada, Yahweh, for giving us Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who have the 100% spirit of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachwa Kodash. All right. A double honors to the CT bishops, our big Akim, and greetings and salutations to the Akim in this country and all over the world, on the comment board, all over the world, prophesying in the true name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who are descendants from those people on their father's side. Shalom to those who are scattered abroad. I'm Yaikwab. I'm your Iquab, Lord willing, usher in the King of the universe, King Yahushai, from the power of Yahweh. All right, and again, this title is again, while war. I tried to excuse the grammar and the spelling. I tried to fit everything in this title. You only get to put in like 100 characters when you make a title on YouTube. But anyway, the title is while war diversions are being looped through your TV, all right, the U.S. government are passing laws supporting the MOTB prophecy, all right, and again, I have in parentheses Palantir. So what I have two articles going into laws that have just recently passed as of this week, or that are being in process of being passed. And these laws support is basically going into digital currency and something called a stable coin that the U.S. government had just passed, or Trump is just pushing through. So I got two articles going to that because when we talk about the major prophecies of our Lord's coming, right? We got to talk. Of course, World War III is the end game, but what's the real sign that we are at the end? Like my brother Amawanga Bar says, the end. If he's watching, I got that from him. But what's the real true sign that we're at the literally end and the Yahushua can pierce the clouds is when they mandate the MOTB, as we call Apostle Har. I like how you phrase it, called the digital all right. Because an all, like it says in the scriptures, which is part of the laws, represents an Israelite, slave working through the year of Jubilee or working through his trade within the 7 years in his years. And on the seventh year, he can uh, go on and take his family and start his own thing. Or, like our forefather uh, Jacob, like he was working for Rachel, but Rachel's father supplanted him, gave him Leah first, and then Rachel for another 7 years. So anyway, the point is that when an Israelite, according to our laws, when we want to not separate from our master or our trade master, whatever you want to call him, right? In modern day terms, that we would we would get a tool, a piercing tool, and we will bore our ear. The tool being all, and we will bore our ear, right? Signifying, we break the skin, right, and signify that I love my master. That's the number one thing. I love my master, and that I don't want to depart from, want to be a slave, right? So that's the overall sign that the Lord's gonna. That's the overall how should I say? That's the overall way that the Lord's gonna test if you really love Him or not. All right. Rather, besides doing shows and doing videos and going out and doing the work of the Lord out there in highways and byways in His name, doing the miracles, right? The last test, right, that the whole world's going to be tried by, especially the elect, to certify their faith. Are they going to take that mark, the Motb, right, which is basically representing Esau's system, the nation of Edom system, the New World Order, being orchestrated and as in real time right now by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the rich families, Oppenheimers, the nation of Edom, Zionist big brother, right? They're pushing forth their New World Order. Okay, we're in that right now, and if you don't take that Motb, which is basically has all your information on there, and of course you won't be able to buy or sell, right? Remember, rich, poor, all, everybody is gonna be is gonna have to be forced to take that chip, right? And one of the main things is that you're gonna have to buy. You can't buy any food without this. So remember, the Motb is a digital device. It's a radio frequency identification chip, right? It has all your information on there. You won't need to carry a license or a passport or have any paperwork. All your information will be on this chip and more, right? So, which represents the system, because the system is going digital. It's been going digital. The other term is called the Internet of Things, right? Where everything in the world is being, as far as the system is concerned, is being put in a, how should I say, the stupid comment thing. I can't see if brothers are making comments. Hey, Shalom out there. Okay, I had to switch to another one. Hey, Shalom, G-Miss in his likeness. Shalom, beloved brother, Akim. Ak. Oh, you know what? You got it up there, so let me just read it. The water, Akia. Let me just read the other real-time video. My stupid thing's not playing, man. Anyway, let's stay on board, Salakia. So yeah, the water, GMS in his likeness out of Orlando, beloved brother. He has here Exodus 21:5, right? And I got these two articles I want to read as well. But let's read the law, right? Because what Esau's doing, everything comes from the scriptures, man. But he's doing it in a negative way. See, now it's not wrong with having a mark, but we got the spiritual mark, Ezekiel 9:4, that mark to be exempt from judgment. Okay, I've done a show on that. There are different marks. All right. Anyway, here's a proof. Exodus 21:5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, right, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Verse 6, it says, then his master shall bring him onto the judges, right? He shall also bring him to the door or onto the doorpost. And his, okay, didn't finish off there. Let me get the rest. This is Exodus 21, right? What is the Motb but the mark of the beast? It's not wrong with having a mark, but you don't want to have the mark of the beast. You want to have the mark of the Lord. All right. So this is Exodus. And remember that mark represents who are you devoted to? You know, okay? Who do you pledge allegiance to? All right. Who are you in league with? All right. All right. So anyway, Exodus 21 and 6. Right? It reads again. Then his master, okay, then his master shall bring him on to the judges, right? Your judges are your like today's, or your judges back then would be your priest, the priest of Israel. All right. Now today's judges would be your governors, your senators, your government. All right. People who represent the government, politicians, senators, right? Mayors, governors. It says, then his master shall judges. Then his master shall bring him onto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or onto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear with an awl, meaning bore, meaning a hole in your ear. Okay, just like that processed meat called boar's head. All right, there's a pig on there, a wild boar, a pig with an earring on, right? Hey, I have earrings, right? Okay. When you get your ears pierced, right? It's basically the same thing, right? Same thing, right? A hole, a bore, right? And they use a tool. It says bore his ear with an awl. An awl is a piercing instrument, right? And he shall serve him forever. All right, that's the point. So the Motb prophecy, right? That's the cherry on the topping, man, of your faith, of your proof of your faith or your allegiance to um how should I say it? If you're gonna take it or not. All right. So if you take that Motb, you're pledging allegiance um to you're pledging allegiance to the nation of Edom. You're pledging allegiance to the Edomite government, right? Which would be the New World Order. All right, which would be the New World Order. Okay, which is the real New World Order is under our Lord when He comes back. Now, now where was I? Okay, but this is the mark that you want. All right, let me get this real quick before I go into the articles. This is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 to verse 4. It reads right to the point. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem,